welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to David Blake Presents. I've got a fabulous guest host here today, Lisa Ann Fontana, the author of Me the People and the creator of Citizen Cupcakes and Welcome Parties. She welcomes everyday Americans, the 92 million of us that are seeking more information on civics, voting, and the process of being a citizen here in the United States. So today we're going to talk about ballots, mail-in ballots specifically. So with that, welcome Lisa Ann.
Hey, hi. Thank you so much for having me. I could not be happier to be here. One of the things you had talked about is having me come on and discuss this once my ballot arrived. And so we've been really busy last week with so much going on in the world. We haven't had the time, but I have my ballot. It's arrived. I haven't even opened it yet. And so I wanted to bring it on today, open it live with everybody. Well, live to tape, not live to you, and you see this, and go through what it's going to take it from receiving your ballot to going in and turning your ballot back in. So normally when we walk through the process, we talk about how to request your ballot. We've covered that in the past, and in most states, we've passed the time to request your ballot. Not in every state. So again, as I always say, go back to your supervisor of elections office, find out if you want to vote from home, you can request your mail-in ballot. You need to act really, really fast right now, and we'll show you how to get to your supervisor of elections in just a minute. Okay, so ballot has arrived. I've got my wonderful little package here. I'm going to open it, and we're going to talk about what's inside of it. So give me just a second to pierce the seal.
This is exciting.
Isn't it though? Uh, so this is the envelope it came in, and for me, there's no more additional information in there. But on the back, it does give you some notification. If you choose to vote at your polling place or at an early voting site, please bring this ballot with you to avoid delays. And the reason for that, you guys, is once you order it, and I think, David, you'll show a close-up of this later, every ballot comes with a tracker item. That's your ID. It's telling them that it's your ballot. You called and requested it. It's attached to you. If you go in to vote, and this is the ballot you asked for, now you're doing it in person, you're going to cause a delay because it's going to pop in the system that you were supposed to be voting this way. So you can vote in person, but you have to bring this ballot with you when you go to your polling place. And again, always look at your supervisor of elections office for your county, not just your state, your county, because everybody gets to do it differently. You'd think on the national level it would be systemized, but it's not. So let's just work with the system we have. So that's one note they have there. And then it tells you, in my state, which is Florida, you can track the status of your vote by mail ballot, and it tells you where to go, and it tells you the phone number that you can call. So what I recommend is to just photograph that. So you've got a copy of it and you can see it on your phone. You can keep that as well, but in life, things get removed and get thrown away a lot. So go ahead and just have it so you've got it on your person. Okay, so the next thing up is an envelope. This is the envelope that you'll be returning to your voter registration office. And again, depending on your state, it's called the Supervisor of Elections Office. It's called the Director Registrar's Office. I'm from Illinois, where it's called the County Clerk's Office. These are the people who handle everything election-based, and you'll see it. For us, it's the Osceola County Supervisor of Elections Office, and so it tells you who the person is it's going back to, which is Mary Jane Arrington. She herself is the Supervisor of Elections. So they're just telling you this is what it goes back into. When you're done filling out your ballot, it's going to go inside of this envelope. On the back, it's got a bunch of information about how to fill out the back because you're sending it in. This needs to be signed by you and filled out with all the info that they ask about. We'll talk about it again in just a minute. What I also have here, let's see, is a sheet of paper. Read these instructions carefully before marking your ballot. So they're telling me exactly how to do it. It's very likely that your mail-in ballot's going to have the same information. It'll be slightly different than mine because my county will be different than yours. But it says things like, important to ensure your ballot will be counted, the Supervisor of Elections Office must receive your ballot no later than 7 p.m. on election day. Depending on your state, that could be different for you. Mark your ballot in secret unless you are in need of assistance. Then it tells you completely fill in the oval next to your choice, and it gives a little example. Use a black ballpoint pen. Mark only the number of candidates or issue choices for each race as indicated on the ballot, and there's more. And then at the bottom, it tells you how to return your ballot. And again, your county, your state will be different from this. They've given us 3 options: by mail in the enclosed postage paid envelope, and postage is not guaranteed. Many states, you have to pay for it yourself. So you must look at the return ballot and see what it says. And again, we'll talk about that before we're done. You can drop it off at your Supervisor of Elections office. That's what I'll be doing, and we'll take you along on that ride. You can drop off at an early voting location listed below from October 19th to November 1st, Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then it lists these 7 locations. So every piece that you get inside your ballot, it's very important information to make your life easier and to make sure that your ballot is counted. My personal favorite thing that it includes is your sticker. This is saying that you voted, and you want to wear that proudly. I put it on my purse. I used to put it on my dog. I have a picture of her somewhere. It's a famous picture of her. She was very famous. She was a hospice volunteer dog, you guys. She just went everywhere, and the whole world loved her because she was beautiful, and I taught her just enough tricks to be dangerous. But I've got a photograph of her wearing her I voted sticker. We all went to Indiana to help support the people waiting in line, not for any party, just to support voters. And she hung out with lots of people to pass the time. Okay, this is your secrecy sleeve. Ooh, let's see what it is. Place your voted ballot in the secrecy sleeve. Place the secrecy sleeve in the return envelope, and then your signature is required on the return mail envelope. And again, for our fellow Americans who speak Spanish, they've also included it here in Spanish. Dun, 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 dun. Next, we have the Osceola ballot. Whoa, it's really long. And let's see, is it 2 pages long?
Make sure to look at front and back.
Oh, yes, I forgot to tell you that there's information on every page to walk you through it, and then the actual questions. And then this says vote both sides of page A and B. So this is the rest. Wow, there are approximately 17 is what I'm counting here. This is the ballot. There's quite a bit here. Now, not every city, not every state's going to be like that. You might have more. Someone called in last week. They had something like 34 items on their ballot. It was crazy. So that's everything that is here for us to talk about. You've got it all covered. And now what I'd like to do, I want to talk about the importance of filling out this ballot exactly as they ask you to. So the instructions will tell you that you're supposed to fill it in and mark it and make it completely black. And again, we'll show you a close-up of that. There's no such thing as an X or a smiley face or putting a line through it like we used to do with some of the tests we took in school. None of that. Exactly as they've told you to fill it out is exactly how you must fill it out. If you think it doesn't matter, it matters. Sometimes they say you have to use only a black pen or only a blue pen. Please read those details. They're not kidding. I wish it weren't so complicated or so detail oriented, but the truth is we want our votes to count. Maybe later consider going in and saying, hey, let's make some changes. This is too difficult. But right now we're going to follow the rules and get it all done. So that's my pitch about that. If you're looking at the ballot I just showed you and you're wondering, oh, okay, I don't know what a comptroller does. I don't know who I'm supposed to pick. And to be honest, I only know about what president I want to vote for, and the rest I have never heard of. And sometimes I can't see one now, but there's initiatives they want you to vote on. We had one in Florida 2 years ago, about the marijuana initiative, but it's not written as marijuana where they're just saying, are you pro or against it? It's convoluted. It's confusing. It's written so that you are in need of a lawyer to help you understand. So this is the part where I think having this online information is so helpful. We're going to go, I urge you to go either to vote411.org, which is run by the League of Women Voters, or to Rock the Vote. I think it's about rockthevote.com. They actually share information. They're affiliated. And so what we're going to do there, Dave, are you able to pop us over? I just want to start walking people through what the point of it is.
Yeah, let's go there.
Thank you. They're actually able to help you compare candidates. So if you're confused on this, which many people are because this is just not what we do professionally, then it's time to head over and we're going to show you on this page how to compare and contrast the candidates. Now, Dave, I don't know if people can't see it, but would you read what's on that page where I'm going to have you click? What does it say there? Find your...
Yes, definitely. It says find what's on your ballot.
Perfect. So this is vote411.org. And that is where we're going to click to find what's on your ballot. So Dave, you would go ahead and put that together.
There we go. All you have to do is put in your information, where you live, and hit submit.
Wonderful. We'll wait while we arrive. Okay. So this is going to bring up my ballot. What it's telling you here is choose my language. Mine is English. And do you want to go to your races? And I do. During the primary, it would ask you other questions. And that's why there's that piece there. And woo, lo and behold, wow, that's a lot of info. Now, normally I would skip right over the presidency because there's only 2 candidates running and you're going to want to pick, except that's not actually true. There are many people running for president. They just don't get the same amount of airtime. They're not running for a party. They're running on your own. So when you click on the president, well, this is interesting. This is a description of the job. Is that what that is, David?
Yes, it's a description of the job, what they get paid, what their duties are, in 2 languages. And then below, here are the 13 people in this state that are registered to run for president.
Excellent. Thank you. And now the reason you may not see all these other faces is because they leave it to each individual campaign to contact the League of Women Voters. They have 800 chapters across the country, and they all reach out and try and get this information. But that's why you don't see pictures, is that the campaign itself didn't give it to them. So what you're able to do here is see everybody and then click on the person. Now we're not gonna click on anybody here because the presidency is not just a hot button issue. I don't want to put you through this. We're going to go back. U.S. House District 9. Would you take us there, please? Okay, so there are 3 people running for this job. Clay Hill, William P. Bill Olson, and Darren Soto. Would you click on Clay for me, David? Let's see if he has any information.
Yes.
Okay, so what you do is you click on each person and it tells you who they are. In this area, I'm sorry to tell you that this person never responded. So they reached out and then they hope to get info back. So everything here says that he didn't respond to that info. Whereas Mr. Bill, who is currently running, he did respond. It's a little ironic that Darren Soto didn't respond because he currently holds that job. So normally they would give you all that info. So here's how you compare. If no one gave their information, you can then just Google them and take a look. That's up to you. But mostly people provide all their information and you're able to compare and contrast the candidates by reading all the questions that they ask. What steps did you take to reform current immigration policies? What policies will you pursue to promote social change? They ask them questions based on the job they're applying for. And then people get the chance to give their answers and then you get to look. So this is not my ballot, but this is helping me choose. So David, would you go to the top so I can show people how this works?
Happily.
Go ahead and click on my choice. Let's say I'm going to pick well, he's up right now. We're going to pick this William P. Olson person. And again, I have not read through these. I've not made any decisions yet, but we're just showing you what it looks like. So click on him and then immediately it's going to show you the next candidate running on your ballot. So if you're at home with your mail-in ballot, you're going to put in your information and it's going to bring up in order, one thing at a time, exactly what's on your ballot. So here, I'm not going to do any comparison. I'm just going to tell you that it's there. Go ahead. Click on, I think that's Jose. I don't have my glasses on. Just click on that person. And as soon as you do, it's going to bring up the next person. And now just randomly, if you would, I don't see where you can click. Just keep picking people if you would, so we can kind of run through this. And when they come up, you can add this green arrow. At some point, Dave, you can stop anytime you want, if I recall, can't you?
Yes, you can stop any time, and all you have to do is go back to View My Races, and up here...
But Google, so excuse me, scroll down so they can see, we pick 3 people, and it's showing us our choices. So you can sit down when you have a quiet moment And just if you only have time to go over two right now, especially right now, if you're a parent and you've got children, or you are a student and you've got everything's so challenging right now, you can give yourself 3-4 minutes at a time and just pick one candidate here, one candidate there, and then there's a point somewhere there, Dave, we'll find it, where you can email yourself. And so when you're ready to sit down and actually vote, you can either do it slowly right now, or you can do it over a few days, so that you're making these informed decisions without feeling 17. That's a lot. That's overwhelming. I might not want to sit and do all that right now. This lets you do it slowly. I can't believe it's not just that. Normally what we do, guys,
Finish.
finish there. So we go through the whole thing usually. That's why. Now you can put in your phone number and you put in your email, and they will send you your summary ballot, which just means everyone you've picked so far, they'll tell you that's who you picked. And then then you've got it. So you can do it 3-4 times. And then when you sit down and fill out your ballot, you can just look through your email or your text and just say, oh, okay, I wanted that guy. Oh, I wanted that lady. Oh, I picked that candidate. And then you could be done immediately. And it's the no muss, no fuss, no angst process. So that's what I wanted to show you here on Vote 411. So now we finished all the items. Let's just say that you've filled everything out on your ballot. And remember that while I urge you to do your best to make a decision on every item, like I have 17, I'm going to do my very best to fill out 17 answers to come up with 17 decisions. You do not have to vote for every category on your ballot to have your vote count. So if you just want to walk in and vote for the president on your ballot and vote for nobody else, you can do that. I suggest, since you're there and it's a big part of democracy, give it a try. Go ahead and because you've got this comparison available to you, go ahead and give that a try. But as a reminder, you do not have to fill it out. So if you're getting overwhelmed, do not think for a moment, oh, I'd better just stop. You don't have to you don't have to give up voting. You can still vote. Just pick as many as you want to vote for, and then it's okay to move on. Okay, so now once you're done, it's time to put your ballot back together, and then we're going to mail it back. So here's my ballot and what it looks like. But if you get stuck, if you're confused on anything in this process of putting it together, or anything you do, if you get stuck in this process, I want you to stop and contact your Supervisor of Elections office. And I know we have shown everybody 1,000 times how to find your Supervisor of Elections for your county week after week. But Dave, if you would take us right now, can we hop over to Vote Smart? I want to show you again real quick today. We will put these notes underneath so you can find it, but go ahead and jot it down if you want. VoteSmart.org. We're going to run through everything. Just go straight to the bottom. You get to Vote Smart, scroll all the way to the bottom.
There you go.
And Dave, you can just show them what you're doing to get them where we're going.
Absolutely. Once you're at Vote Smart, go all the way to the bottom of the home page, and you'll find this one right here, Elections and Candidates. Click on that. Scroll down a little bit, Election Contacts. Click on that one, and it'll bring up this questionnaire right here. Select your state. We're in Florida, so we're going to click on that one. Once you're here, it'll show you every county. There are 67 here in Florida, so you can go through and find your county right here. Since we're in Osceola, I'll scroll down and find that. I told you there were a lot. Here we go, Osceola.
Perfect. Thank you, Dave. So what you're seeing in front of you right now, it's got the address, it's got the phone number, it's got the email, and the website. What I want you to do, they are overwhelmed all across the country already right now. So what I want you to do is, if you've got a question, I want you to go first to the website and look at it, go through it, click around. Go ahead, Dave. You could take us there now. This is Vote Osceola with Mary Jane Arrington. She is the Supervisor of Elections. And again, remember, every state has a different name for it. If you type in Supervisor of Elections and you Google for your state, it will tell you. If I'm in Illinois and I Google it, it's going to come up County Clerk. It's going to tell me. It's going to make that shift for you. So no worries about being able to find it. But you can see on her page, request a ballot, register to vote, current elections, polling location, current candidates. It's showing you as much as it can. Go through these pages, look around, and if there's anything you still can't find, if you're not getting what you need, if you still feel like you don't understand it, At that point, then the phone number is usually right on the website, but also we just had you on Vote Smart. The phone number is right there. Pick up the phone and call with your questions. And that's it. It's just about us taking control of the situation and making a call when necessary. And if you're a nervous person, it's okay. If you're not comfortable on the phone, it's okay. I hate ordering food on the phone. I'm great on the phone, but I hate ordering food on the phone. It's my thing. So I make everybody else do it for me. Don't let your concerns about looking stupid or feeling uncomfortable, don't let that get in the way. Make one of your friends do it. Make one of your family members do it. Get the help you need in order to get where you're trying to go. My sister is really busy. Her kids are homeschooling right now, as is most of America, and she works from home. It's exhausting. And she wanted to order her ballot. And I said to her, you know what? Let me call for you. I can't fill out her paperwork, but I could get the paperwork sent to her house for her. I called on the phone and got that all taken care of for her because, quite frankly, she's too busy to make that happen. We're all helping each other out here. Okay, so we're done with all that. Now your ballot is filled out and you are ready to rock and roll and you're ready to put it all together and get your ballot returned to the supervisor of election. The most important thing I can tell you is be certain to sign your ballot. In some states, you also have to have it notarized. Be sure to go to that Supervisor of Elections website with any questions you have. Read the information. So on my sheet to return it, it says, number 1, I do solemnly swear or affirm I am a qualified and registered voter of Osceola County, Florida, and that I have not and will not vote more than one ballot in this election. I understand that if I commit or attempt to commit any fraud in connection with voting, remember we talked a lot about fraud? This is why you don't do it. Vote a fraudulent ballot or vote more than once in an election, I can be convicted of a felony of the 3rd degree and fined up to $5. Right? $5,000 and or imprisoned for up to 5 years. I also understand that failure to sign the certificate will invalidate my ballot. It means it won't count. And then note, power of attorney cannot sign for the voter. It means if someone else signs for you, you sign here. And then there's nowhere to sign yet. It's at the bottom. So number 2, voter signature required below. And then you can put an X if you want to keep voting by mail. You can put an X there, and that means the next election that we would be voting in, which is, I think, is the primary. Well, it depends on each county. It's just letting you know you don't have to request your ballot for the next election. They will send it to you. You then have to sign your name. And then number 3, you must put the date. On the bottom right, this is important because most places have it. I want you to put it in if you are willing, because even though you feel like you're giving up a lot of your info, if there's a problem with your ballot in most states, they're going to be able to contact you. The less information you have here, the harder it is for them to contact you. The more information you have, the easier it is for them to call you, contact you. If there's a problem, get it fixed. Remember, we're all working or we're studying. We're all very busy. It's challenging in this world right now to make sure we can get this stuff tended to on time. So it's telling you the information requested below is optional. Home phone number, mobile phone number, email address. I urge you to, if you're comfortable, put it all in there, because then they can call you or email you, or they'll do it all and let you know. Let's say you forgot to sign it. Let's say your ballot's invalid because what you did inside, maybe you spilled coffee on something, they can't read it. They will call you and let you know there's a problem. Quickly, I want to touch on this because some people are having the issue. These envelopes, depending on your state, but largely have your signature on them, your phone number. They've got some information about you that when it goes in the mail, this part looks normal. This part is telling people how to get in touch with you. If you're concerned about people having that information, it shouldn't go anywhere. But it's being picked up by the mail. It's going out into the ether. It's sitting there. I get it. You can put it in another envelope. Excuse me. Just remember, the moment it goes in another envelope, let's say in my county it's free. Nope, now you have to pay for it because you're putting it in another envelope. Just remember exactly where they want you to send it. You better copy that exactly. Just remember to be vigilant if you want to keep that covered up. You can also leave it in its original envelope and do what I'm doing. Just go right to your supervisor of elections. They've got all this information already and they don't want it. They don't need it. They're not going to use it. And you can just put it right into their mailbox. There's a collection box usually right outside the door. You call and find out, or you go online. But that's just something I want to cover because we did get a lot of people concerned about it.
While you're looking up the next thing, I wanted to mention our interview with one of the supervisors of elections that said some locations even have drive ups so you can do it safely, and many of those are even using tongs to take it from you so nobody is touching anything that could be um, covered with any kind of virus, and you have that comfortability. Very cool thing that they're doing there.
Yes, I agree. A lot of different counties are just they're just so motivated. There's a lot of partisan whatnot going on out there, which means people who want to win who are Republicans, people who want to win who are Democrats, and there's a lot of fighting and whatnot. But the supervisor of elections, most of them, this is what they do. This is what they do. It's what they want to do. They want to be a part of democracy and helping people vote. So look for all the good wherever you can find it, and make sure if you see something bad, you document it and then you share it with the appropriate authorities down the road. So for now, I want you to photograph your ballot. I want you to photograph everything. It's to me, it's very important to have. Across the top of my ballot is the photograph. Excuse me. Across the top here of my envelope is my tracking information. That's my ID. That tells them who I am, Lisa Ann Fontana. Make sure that's clearly photographed. Make sure you have it. Also, you can use it to help track your ballot. Photograph your tracking information or your ID information. Photograph each piece as you're putting it together. Photograph it when it's all assembled. Depending on your county and not your state, your county, remember that you might need postage. Be sure to scrutinize that. Mine says no postage necessary if mailed in the United States. Make sure yours says that too. And if it doesn't, you have to find out the appropriate postage. You might be able to get that information on the website of your supervisor of elections. If not, you can either call USPS or you can walk in and ask, or ask your mail carrier if you want to make sure to be socially distant and stay outside. But now we're all filled out and it's time to put it in the mail or drop it off at a secure location. So I know many of you are concerned about the USPS falling behind and getting things there on time. I understand that. Most states do have drop off locations. Again, do not trust the news or the radio here. You go to your supervisor of elections for your county, and it's your county. That's the county where you physically live, because your neighbor might live in a different county. I live in what's called a tri-county, which means it's pretty easy for me to be crossing the street on my morning walk, and I'm in a whole other county. In fact, there's a note about 100 yards from where I live. The sign says Orange County. I'm in Osceola, but literally on my walk, I go back and forth between Orange County and Osceola. So you make sure you know what county you live in and that's who you're contacting. You're not listening to the radio. You're not listening to the TV, because they can't tell you what to do in your county. There are 60 some counties in Florida alone, 50 states, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So that's all you want to do. Do what they tell you. If they tell you where to find a mail-in box or a drop box, I want you to go there. There's an example here of things going wrong is California. A group put together unauthorized ballot boxes in a specific county. So people thought they were putting their ballots in a real election box, but they weren't. So your supervisor of elections office will tell you the truth. But while you're there, you go ahead and take a screenshot of what it says, just in case. Trust, but verify. I myself am going to be taking my ballot directly to the supervisor of elections and dropping it off. I'll be certain to take a video of myself as I do it. Trust, but verify. So if you're ready to do that, let's go do that. Okay, everybody, we're here. And if I sound funny, it's because I am now ready to be out in society. So this is where we're going to be. You can't see it right now. There's a car blocking it, but we'll fuzz everything out. And as soon as they drive away, I'll show you the box. Let's hold on a second. Okay, everybody, so one more time I'll show you through my ballot. We'll fuzz out all the important stuff. You see it's signed, you see it's dated. And now normally I could drop it off at the mail, but you and I are going to drop it right here in Osceola. So there goes one. And there goes two. So this up here, see where it says Supervisor of Elections Property Appraiser. And down below there's some people here doing videotapes. And again, that's where you drop it off. Okay, so that's done. Now, depending on your state, you can track your ballot. David, have you had the opportunity to hear anybody get any feedback back? I know in Florida we haven't talked to too many people, but anybody there has had the chance to track their ballot or deal with any issues on their end?
Actually, yes, I've had many people tell me that they've uh, sent their ballot off or put it in the drop box, and they check periodically online at their county elections office, and they're able to see that it was received at what time, what day, and they have the satisfaction of knowing it's in. Yeah, so I've had many, many people respond saying that that system in their particular county is working well, and it gives them the satisfaction of knowing it's been received, everything is done and out of their hands.
Excellent. Thank you. To me, it's just important, I think, for us all to keep hearing feedback. There are many states, I think, actually, guys, I don't know. It's been up and down. Some counties and states are allowing it, some aren't. It's really, largely, you can track your ballot. If you can't track your ballot, again, I urge you, go to your elections office and online, ask them how you can confirm that your mail in ballot was received and processed and that it was not rejected, that it was accepted. So if anything is not correct, you have the option, you have the right to get it corrected and to have your ballot counted. But to do that, you have to know there was a problem. So this is the part about you being vigilant. These are your rights. Let's make sure that we're maintaining them. I know it's a lot to ask, but this is a system we need to fix. I think everybody knows that. But right now, we're working within a broken system. So let's you and I do our best to be very vigilant. And now you're done. If you have any questions on this process today, I urge you go back to votesmart.org. Go to find your supervisor of elections, reach out to them. If the information on the website doesn't answer your question, I'm going to suggest you call them on the phone. And if you just aren't getting answers, as always, you can email us anytime. You can email at MeThePeopleVote@gmail.com. Or the easiest thing, I always redirect you guys to the website, me as in mother, M as in mother, MeThePeopleVote.com. And you can contact us through the welcome. You could reach us through the contact page. Happy to help in any way that we can. But when you're finished, I want you to take a moment and remember what you just did is a profound statement for democracy. Congratulations. I want you to put on your I voted sticker and I want you to celebrate. Of course, celebrate socially distance, of course. But I really want you to stop and give yourself some kind of little party because you absolutely earned it. That's all. Thanks for joining us. And remember, if it's about me, it's about you. And if it's about you, it's about me, the people.
That's fantastic. Wonderful information. Thank you very much for all of that research and comfort. It's going to help so many people. Until next time, see you later. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll be back very soon.